Okay, so when they call you up to register, they don't say like, can I get you up on register? Can I get you up for cashier? Can I get you up on a lane? They say, can I get you up here for guest first? Because, say it with me, the guest comes first. Hi, hello, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Alexia, if you didn't know that. Make sure to like subscribe and all that shit, because why not, you know? Like, I'm just saying, like, also apologize if my hair is dirty or shit like that. I wanted to film this video today because yes. So what is this video? We're going to be talking about why I quit my job at Target, why I felt like it was a bad work environment, and like all that jazz, all the tea. Basically why Target was fucking nasty, why it was gross, why no, like no. Okay, so might as well get into it. So I worked at Target for 3 months. I'm gonna say 3 months because it was basically 3 months. Technically it was like 2 months and like 26 days or something. I was about to hit 3 months when I quit, but whatever. Just for like some context, like how long I worked there. I was on the style team, as they call it. Basically I was in clothing, apparel, whatever you want to call it. That was my department. That's what I did. Cute. Yeah, you know, just team member, wasn't a team leader, nothing like that, obviously. Duh. So I made like a list of things that I wanted to talk about this video. If I forget something, I'll just like insert a clip or something. But I organized it into like things that I felt like it was 1000% their fault, like they could have done something to improve it, or like things that like weren't their fault, things mostly like things guests would do or like shit like that. So yeah. And I do want to preface that like I'm not saying like all Targets are shitty. I felt like mine kind of was. Like I don't want to say all of them because I don't know that. Like it could have just been my location, because I have a friend who works at a different location and she doesn't have any complaints. So it could have just been my location. Could be like every other location, I don't know. But yeah, no, I had a lot of reasons why I wanted to quit. Like there was so many. Let's start with the biggest reason. My availability. So I started working before, while I wasn't in school, so like over the summer. But then around 2 weeks before I was gonna start school, I tried to get my availability changed, because over the summer I was on open availability, and like obviously during school I couldn't do that. So here's the thing, I had so much trouble trying to change my availability that 8 weeks later, like right now, I was never able to get it changed. So basically, like the whole thing was like, so you're supposed to be able to do it through their online system, which I tried doing at first and it got denied. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna submit it again. It got denied. I tried again, got denied. I went and talked to my manager. She was like, oh, just submit it again. Denied. Talked to her again. Oh, just submit it again. I'll take a look at it. Denied. And it was basically like cycle fucking repeating. And it's like, bro, like, no, like what the fuck, like no, like deadass. Okay, I should have to talk to my manager max 2 times for me to get my availability changed, and it should not take 8 fucking weeks. And like the fact that I didn't even get it changed after 8 fucking weeks, like. And I heard like other people were having issues too, and it was like, dude, like get your shit together. People from my department would say like, oh, you just have to remind her like constantly or else she's gonna forget. And it's like, that responsibility should not be on me. I told you once, that's enough. It's on you now to remember it. Like, you're the fucking manager of this department. Do your fucking job. Remember the things that your team members tell you. Like, bro, like I'm dead as being like, yo, don't give me like hella hours and don't schedule me for like opening shifts or like things like that. Like, that's literally it. It's not that fucking hard to change. It was like so fucking annoying. Like, dude, like Dennis, if you know you're forgetful, then like, you know, when one of your team members like has a request, why don't you take out your little phone and put it in your notes, so later you can be like, oh yeah, so and so wanted this change to their schedule, so and so wanted a day off or whatever. It's like, it's not that fucking hard. Like, y'all, take a shot of water every time I clack My fucking nails like Mr. Krabs. I don't have any right now, but stay hydrated. I don't know, another thing, side note, like, this happened, like, it was my first week there and I was still in training. And, like, this same lady, like, my manager. So, your first week there, or, like, I think it's the first week or two, at least for me it was, you're, like, training with someone. So, you basically, like, go and, like, shadow somebody who's been working there for a while. And they would tell you who was going to be on your schedule, but, like, that wasn't reliable because I would come in and they would put me with someone else who wasn't on that schedule, so I would have to ask someone. And like, she was in HR that day when I was clocking in. I was like, hey, could you tell me who I'm supposed to be training with today? And she just looked at me like, why the fuck are you bothering me? And it's like, it's a simple ass question, and you're my fucking manager. Whatever. Also, I heard she made a girl cry once, and I'm like, honestly, I'm not surprised. Okay, another thing was, if I wanted to call in sick to work, it was such a fucking hassle, such a fucking bitch. Just, oh my god, so annoying. Okay, so basically, like, the number we got to call the store was the same one that guests could call, which I think is stupid. Like, bro, like, have a number that guests can call to reach, like, guest services or whatever the hell, and have a number for HR, because it's just so, like, it was so annoying because to call in, you would get, like, the automated system, and it's like, thank you for calling the so-and-so location Target store, blah, 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 and it was 2 full minutes of just, like, this automated voice before I could even have the option to, like, reach a certain department. It was so fucking annoying. And you know what? In more than half the time, they wouldn't even answer. Like, dead ass. Like, HR would just not pick up the phone. I would call and call and call, and they would just not pick up the phone. I've had it happen before where I could call several times and they would eventually pick up. But there was this one day where I was calling in and I called dead ass. I called them like 7 times and they never picked up. And so, like, because they weren't picking up, I sent an email to one of the people at HR and I was like, hey, I wasn't able to get through. Like, I just want to say I'm not going to be able to come into work today for blah, 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 blah reason. And the thing is, I know HR gets off work around like 5 or 6 or so. And I sent that email at 3. So they had at least 2 hours to look at that email and be like, oh, she's not coming in. Guess who got in trouble for not coming in? I was so pissed. I came into work the next day and my manager was like, why didn't you come in yesterday? Why didn't you call? And I was like, I did call, and I offered to show her my call history and everything. I even told her about the email, and she was like, oh, it's not necessary for you to show me, and like, whatever. And then she was like, you're still gonna get a no call, no show on your record. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I can show you my call history. She was like, oh, well, it's already been done. So I was like, what? And I was just like, whatever, like, I don't care enough. Like, I don't care enough to go get, like, the actual, like, store manager. I don't care enough to go get him and bitch about this. Like, if I really cared about that job, I would've. But, like, I don't care that much. But I was still pissed. I was like, what the fuck? Like, dead ass. And, like, so someone told me this, and, like, so it was, like, through the little grapevine of, like, Target employees that, like, HR will just, like, ignore the phone when it's ringing if they just don't feel like answering it. And it's like, that pisses me off, like, so much, honestly, like, dead ass. And I don't doubt that for a second. Like, I 1000% believe it, because I call so much and they just don't answer, and it's so annoying. It's so fucking, like, oh my god, it gets on my fucking nerves. It really does, because it's like, you know, if I get a little bit lazy with my job there, it's like, oh no, there's some messy shirt folds over there. But with them, it's like, you can get people in trouble by, like, not answering the phone. Like, someone's trying to call in or whatever, they can't come in, they could get in trouble for that. And it's like, bro, it's so easy. You answer the phone, and whatever department they need to reach, you connect them.
It's so easy.
Like, bruh, like, I understand if you're in a pissy mood, but, like, come on, like, dead ass, like, your job depends on, like, people getting in trouble or not. Like, it just pisses me the fuck off. And after that incident, I was just like, I don't fuck with HR anymore. I was like, I'm not gonna be nice with you bitches anymore. Like, fuck you. Like, I don't care. Okay, so, like, dead ass, sometimes I would go into go into clerical where like HR was, like before they were supposed to be off at like 2. It was like I would come in to there at like 11 or at like 2 p.m. or whatever, and there would be no one there. And I'm like, huh, why is there no one in HR right now? What if people need to call? And it was just like why don't you just always have at least one person in HR? Like, you need more people. Hire someone. You're fucking Target. You have money. Like, it was just like annoying. And it's like, why don't you have people to do this job? Like, what the fuck? Like, it was so like, it was like, it just pisses me off. I never tried to get a day off, but like, I knew it would be so fucking difficult, such a fucking process, so impossible, and I would probably end up getting in trouble anyways. And like, that had to do with like seeing how hard it was for me to just get my availability changed. And then also a coworker of mine, we're just gonna call her Tabitha, not her real name. There was no one, I didn't know anyone named Tabitha. So Tabitha, like, she requested a day off through the system, like hella in advance, right? But it got denied. And so she went to our manager and she was like, hey, can I get like this day off or whatever? And keep in mind, there's like hella advance and like shit like that. And my manager is like, yeah, I'll take care of it for you. Then like that week comes and she's still on the schedule, even though my manager said she would take care of it. And then Tabitha doesn't come in that day, and then she gets in trouble for it. I don't even have to say anything. Y'all don't even, this is gonna be a long ass video, by the way. Next reason, the hours fucking sucked. They would always give me like a lot of hours, but like during the summer it was fine because I didn't have school. But then like I still got a lot of hours once school started, and I was like dead. I was working full time and I was in college, and they would schedule me for like over 40 hours, sometimes like almost 50 hours a week. And it was like,
Oh my god.
like, I didn't have time to sleep. I didn't have time to have a like fucking life, have a social life. None of that. It was just work, school, doing my homework dead ass in the middle of the fucking night. I'd be up until 6 a.m. in the morning doing homework, and then I would sleep 3 hours until my class at like 9.
And like,
And that was my schedule. I would go to class and then I would like sleep for a while. Half the days of the week I have a class after, like an hour after that, so I would sleep until then and I go to that class, and a lot of times I'd have to leave immediately after my second class to go to work. Or like if it was a day I didn't have that class, I would just sleep until then, and then I would go to work, and then after work I would get off at like 10 or 11 or something. I would do homework, and so like I would just be doing homework like in the middle of the night, and I would just sleep during the day. I love that for me. So a lot of times I would be getting like always be getting 3 hours of sleep, and then I was usually able to get at least 1 hour during the day. Sometimes I could fit in like 3 hours, sometimes.
the writing.
Like, the thing is though, like, don't schedule me full time if you know I'm in school. And like, the thing is, I get it if it's like someone who doesn't even know me making the schedule, but it's not. It's the team leads of my department who are making the schedule, and they all know that I'm in school. And it would be like 6 days a week too. And like even the managers, even like the team leads got 5 days a week. So what the fuck? I heard like they'll do that to people, but usually not until they've like worked there for a long time. And like, they started scheduling me for like 6 days after I'd only been there for like a month and a half. So, shit was not cute. I don't know. And then like whenever I did have a day off, or if I was working a half shift instead of a full, like my manager would call me and she would text me, or like HR would call me and they'd be like, can you come in early? Can you stay late? Can you come in on your day off? And like blah 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 blah. And I was like, oh my god, leave me alone. Why do you like me so much? Like, literally, why do you fucking like me so much?
Like,
And like, the thing is, like, with their hours is like, there were people who were like, I don't get enough hours, like I need to work more. And then there were people like me who were like, they schedule me way too fucking much. So it's like, why don't you, because like the leads of each department like make the schedules for their people, like why don't you take like the time out of your day to like go and like visit people like while they're like zoning or whatever, be like, yo, like what's your schedule, like how many hours do you want to work a week, or like whatever, just to make sure. Because sometimes like availability on the system gets denied and all that shit. And it's like, why don't you do that? Like, why don't you just be a good manager? Like, you know, actually talk to the people who fucking work for you. Like, is it really that hard? No, it's not. Like, dead ass. Like, whatever. That's not my business, though. Okay, this next one, I wrote it down as just, like, the red fucking shirts bitch. And just, like, same. I just didn't like the uniform. I didn't like it. I didn't like having to wear red t-shirts all the time.
Which is like a stupid complaint, but like, you know, whatever, it's there.
Okay, another thing is, like, the team leads for my area, they would be like, why is your area so messy? Why does it look like that? It needs to be neater. It needs to be nicer. But the thing is, like, and they would always do that when it was, like, the store was, like, hella busy. So, like, on a Sunday afternoon or some shit like that. And it's like, do you know how impossible it is to maintain an area while guests keep coming through and messing shit up? I'll fix something 5 minutes later, it's messed up again. Like, have some fucking sympathy. Like, you know it's busy. Like, whenever it was not busy, my area would be looking good. But whenever it was, like, yeah, it's fucking messy. I'm, like, trying to keep it up, but, like, it's hard. Like, I would do something and mess it up, like, right after. It's, like, fucking impossible, dude. And it's, like, have some fucking sympathy, because they'd be on our fucking asses. And it's, like, dude, it's busy. What do you want me to do? Do you want me to say fuck off to every guest that comes in my area? Like, or they would be like, you're not doing it fast enough, you're not folding fast enough, you're not zoning fast enough, you're not organizing fast enough, you're not sizing fast enough. And it's like, I'll go as fast as I fucking want. Like, I understand they want us to do some things like do things like quickly, but it's like, I don't know, you need to understand, I'm not gonna sit here and fold shirts at the speed of fucking light. Like, you know, like, do you want it to look nice or do you want it to be fast? Like, it's either or, because I can fold these shirts in, like, -3 seconds and have them look super haphazard, but, like, hey, it's folded. Or do you want me to sit there and, like, make it look nice? Because you can't have both. Like, it's not like I'm sitting there folding like a fucking snail or some shit. Like, I'm going at a decent pace, and it's like, dude, just, like, get off my back. I'm sitting here, I'm doing my job. Like, don't come at me with you're not doing it fast enough. And they would, like, expect us to get, like, hella shit done in, like, a short amount of time. They'd be like, oh, you can, like, you know, fix up everything in this area in, like, 30 minutes, right? And it would be an area that's, like, of a decent size, and there'd be, like, hella messy shit, because there wouldn't have been anyone closing the night before in that area. And it's like, huh. No, if you want me to go in here and fix all the folds, it's gonna take me, like, 2 hours. Deadass. Like, no, like, I mean, I can go and I can pick shit up off the floor, and I can, like, put shit where it's, like, things that are not, like, where they're supposed to be, I can put it back there, and I can do that quickly. But, like, to make it look nice, like, fix all the folds of all these tables, because, like, whenever they would do that, it would be, like, please, an area with, like, hella folded shit, and it's like, no, I can't do it that quickly, sorry about it, honey. Or, like, another thing is they would be like, hey, can you break out, like, 7 boxes in 20 minutes, thanks? And it's like, no, I can't. I can do, like, 3 or 4 in 20 minutes. Like, the thing is, like, if the boxes from breakout are, like, just stuff on hangers, I can do that quickly. Or, like, if the folds didn't get messed up from shipping, like, yeah, I can do that quickly. But, like, most of the time, like, the folds from shipping would get all messed up. So I would have to, like, refold it before I could put it on the metro to be pushed out onto the floor. And so that takes time, you know? Like, I can't, it's, like, too much of expected of me in, like, a short amount of time. And it was like, bro, like, and they'd be like, come and be like, how many boxes have you done? It's like, fuck off. And another thing was, like, they would, like, have me doing shit that, like, wasn't my job, like, calling me up to register and, like, shit like that. Which, like, honestly, like, I wouldn't really mind going to register, but, like, the thing I did mind was, like, it would take me away from my job. And the thing is, I would get in trouble for that, like, not doing my job. But it's like, y'all had me on register for, like, 2 hours. So, yeah, my area is gonna be messy. It would just be annoying, and I've seen it before, like, hear it over the walkie, and my manager would be like, Tabitha, where are you? And Tabitha would be like, I'm on lane 5. And Tabitha, and, like, my manager would be like, your area is hella messy. What the fuck? And Tabitha would be like, I've been on register. It's like, just be, like, understanding and shit, because when they call us up to register, we can't just say no. Like, or, like, if we ignore it, that, like, creates a bad rep for us. Like, personally, I don't mind being on register. I just mind getting in trouble afterwards. I don't like that. I don't fuck with that. The thing that this didn't have anything to do with, like, my bad experience or whatever. I just thought it was tacky and gross. Okay, so when they call you up to register, they don't say like, can I get you up on register? Can I get you up for cashier? Can I get you up on a lane? They say, can I get you up here for guest first? They called it guest first because...
Say it with me.
The guest comes first. Look, gross. I hate that. It's so fucking tacky. It's also why they call us team members instead of employees. It's like, whatever. Okay, act like you have a good work environment, whatever. Also, I felt like hella team leads or like managers didn't know what they were doing. Like a lot of them were like random ass hires who like hadn't worked in Target before. And it's like, okay, if they're from another store, like that's okay, at least they like know how things work. They just have to get used to the geography of like this store. But they would hire people who like hadn't worked for Target before. And you could tell. Like a month before I left, they hired a new lead for style. She didn't know shit. I'm so sorry. Like I knew more than her. It was sad. Like, I don't know, she'd be like, oh, can you go in zone, what's that area where they have, like, the underwear? And it's like, bruh.
You mean intimates and performance?
Like, I shouldn't know more than the fucking team leads. I shouldn't know more than them. And it's like, why don't you get someone who's been working here for a long time and, like, no shit, and offer them the position? Just a thought. Just a suggestion. Just, like, putting that out there, like, and if there's not anyone, get someone who at least like knows how Target works. Like, bro, like, so fucking annoying. You know, we're gonna get into shit that like wasn't their fault. It didn't have anything to do with Target as is. It's just like either like things I had with like coworkers or just like guests and shit. Most of it is guests. My first note that I have is it just says guests. Same. I'm not gonna lie, I would get really irritated with guests sometimes, or sometimes I'd be pissy from just like dealing with like my manager or something, or like just having to do my job and having it get messed up hella and like shit like that, frustrating shit. And so sometimes when a guest would just enter my area, I'd be like, what the fuck do you want? I wouldn't say that, but I'd be like, ew, bruh, like get the fuck out, like you're gonna mess up all my work I just did. Guests taking their masks off in stores was so fucking annoying. It's like, and then I have to ask them to put it back on, and like deadass every single one would be like, oh, I forgot. And like, no you didn't. No you fucking didn't. You're conscious of this. Because you came in with it on, because they don't let you in without it. Then you decided to remove it. And you know what you're fucking doing, you can feel it on your neck. And every single person around you is wearing one. There was this one guest who had the fucking balls to come up to me and ask me a fucking question with her full ass fucking face out, and I was like, cover that shit up. Like this, I was like, can you put your fucking mask on? Like, why are you fucking talking to me with your face out? That's fucking nasty. And she was like, oh, I forgot. Like, no. God. Like, guess what? Asked me about random shit, and it's like, I get, like, maybe if you've never worked in a store similar to Target before, then you wouldn't know that, like the people who work there, we all have our different areas and our different departments and all that, and like most people don't really go beyond that. Like me personally, like I was in style, so I only knew style. Okay, so like you would go into my store and here's the store, right? Here's style, this is style, this is what I knew. Anything over here, I didn't know what the fuck was there. Like dead ass, like I didn't know. And people would ask me about shit like that, and it'd be like, where's hardware, where's home, where's market, and where's seasonal, and it'd be like, I don't fucking know. And sometimes I would call for help and be like, yo, can someone who like knows shit about this area come help a guest? And sometimes no one would answer, and it'd be like, and I'd be stuck with the guest because I can't just leave them and be like, and I have to be like, can someone help? Because I don't know shit. And just be like, bro, like dead ass. Like whenever someone says like, can I get some help? Can I get someone to help a guest in style? I'll go do it. Like I don't have to do it. Like you're not calling me by my name. Like I don't have to go and help them, but I'll do it. Like because I get like you don't know the area. Like I wouldn't be able to help them there. It's like annoying. It's annoying as fuck. If you need help with like beds, try to find a team member that's like around that area. Or like asking the location of something is one thing, but asking about like detailed shit like that, try to find someone who's in that area. Like really just try, like literally, because I know, like I've seen like people like ask other employees like for help in like style and like they don't know. And I'm like, yeah, I get it, because this is in your area. Like another thing I got was like guests hitting on me, which was like, it was just annoying, really. There was this one guest in particular who was like, he was at my lane and he was dead ass just purposely taking as long as he fucking could so he could talk to me for longer and be like, oh my god, you're so hot and whatever. And it was like,
Can you just pay for your shit and leave and stop talking to me?
it was so fucking uncomfortable. And dead ass, like the guy who's in charge of like getting people up for register or whatever, he totally saw what was happening and he didn't say shit. But I mean, I understand like what would you even say, but still, it was like, you could tell how uncomfortable I was, and it was just like, oh, it was shitty. Like, guests would just be like rude in general a lot of the time. I remember this one time, so I was up on register, and this guest is like, so I ordered this stuff on the registry. I was like, huh? Like on the register? Like you paid at a different register? Like, no, on the register. And I was like, you mean self checkout? You already paid for it on self checkout? Because what I thought was like, oh, you paid for most of your stuff, but you forgot one thing, so now you're here. Because I get a lot of guests like that. And it was like, no, on the registry. And I was like, huh? She was like, you don't know what the registry is? Really? Really? Like, really? And she was giving me this look like I was the dumbest fucking bitch on the planet. It's like, bro, like, if I'm not a team lead or a manager, I don't know shit. Period. You can't expect us to know everything. Like, honestly, you cannot expect us to know fucking everything. You really can't. It was just so fucking annoying, and she's so fucking demeaning. It's like, you never worked a minimum wage job before. Whatever. Guests in my area just putting shit wherever the fuck. Like, okay, so a lot of times they would put me in shoes, and guests would try on the shoes, leave the shoes on the ground, throw the box wherever, and then throw the lid of the box wherever, so everything was just all over the place. Everything was haphazard. We would lose boxes hella because guests would just throw them wherever the hell. It was like, bro, like, have some fucking common decency. Like, with shirts, I get it. Like, you don't want to fold it. Like, I get it. But, like, with shoes, it's like, did us just put it back in the box? Put the box back where it was. It's not difficult. It's really not. Piss me the fuck off. Or, like, sometimes guests would be actively talking to me, and I'll actively be helping them, and I'll just be going through it, like, I'm doing like this one, throws it on the floor, this one on the floor, that on the floor, that over the fucking aisle, whatever, throw that across the store. Like, it's like, bro, you know who's gonna have to pick all this up, right? Me. And I'm trying to fucking help you. Like, don't be a fucking asshole. Whatever. Like, guests need to understand, it's like, I'm not a walking encyclopedia of the store. Like, I'm not. Like, if you can ask me, like, the location of something, and I can try to figure it out for you. But, like, people ask me, like questions like, which razor is the best one for beards? Or, like, which light bulb is better, the 30 volt or the 40 volt? And they'd be like, what's the difference between these two types of strollers? And I'd be like, sweetie, this isn't Ace Hardware. This isn't Bye Bye Baby. This isn't fucking the barbershop or whatever the hell. Like, you can't go into a big store like Target and expect employees to know like detailed shit like that about the products. Like, you really can't. Like, I'm sorry. Like, you can't. Like, even the people who work in those areas won't be able to tell you, because all we do is like stock shit and know where shit is. Or we might be like, oh, I don't know, this one's meant for this and this one's meant for that or whatever. We might know that, but like that's kind of like it. Like, just like annoying. Like, bro, like, stop it. Or like when fucking Karens would come and be like, or oh my god, when guests think I have authority, that's so fucking annoying. It's like, bro, I get paid minimum wage to fold clothes and be a cashier sometimes. I do not have authority whatsoever. Not at all. And then they get all pissy and be like, let me get your manager. And it's like, oh my god, I had this one guest who was literally mad because the store was busy. And the thing is, it was like a Sunday afternoon. That's a busy time. It's like, if you don't want the store to be busy when you come in, don't come in at a busy time. And if that's the only time you can't come in, you know it's gonna be busy. And fucking deal with it. Don't take it out on me or us. Gross. Again, like a lot of times guests would ask like dumb questions, or they'd be like, or I'd be doing my fitting room shift, which like I'm not gonna explain what that was because it's like different with COVID because our fitting rooms weren't open. So I'd be doing it, so I'd be standing like in front of the fitting room or whatever, and they'd be like, "Are the fitting rooms open?" And then, like, the thing is, we would have signs out in front that say the fitting rooms are closed. We would have bars and like racks in front of the entrance, so people couldn't get in, and they'd see all that shit and be like, "Sorry, you're working the fitting room. Is the fitting room open?" It's like, no. If I was working the fitting room, I'd probably move all this shit out of the way, you know, like so you could get in, maybe. Sometimes people would go in themselves, and it's like, no, dude, no. I caught someone back there once. He was shoplifting, so that was really fun to deal with. The last thing I want to talk about is like, there was this one coworker I had who just was always fucking staring at me. And it's like, what the fuck is your problem, dude? Like, and the thing is, like, I only notice things like that if it's really, really obvious. Like, that's the only time I'll notice it. So he was very obvious, and it's like, bro, like, it was for a while too, and it's like, yo, if you had something to say, fucking say it. Like, okay, that's it. That's the whole video. That is why I felt like Target was a toxic ass work environment, and like, I'm not gonna say I won't recommend it because like, I'm maybe so if someone's trying to work at the location I was at, I would be like, maybe not. But like, I can't speak for every Target location. I know they're all different in some ways, or at least I've been told, like, whatever. I've been told the vibe is different or whatever. I don't know. But like, I'm not saying like them in general or like they're a bad company. I'm just saying like I had a bad experience working for them at my location. Like, and these are all the reasons why. Make sure to subscribe and follow me on everything. It will be in the description and on the end card. I hope you all have a cute ass day, and bye.